In the still darkness of the California desert, a young girl vanishes, leaving only a chilling final message behind. 16-year-old Karlie Guse disappeared on October 13, 2018, from her small community in Chaffin Valley, California. The night before, Karlie had gone to a party with friends. She smoked marijuana, but something about it triggered a crippling panic and paranoia. Her boyfriend and friends described her as acting restless and anxious, like she was afraid of something she couldn't name. By 8:30 p.m., Karlie called her stepmother, Melissa, asking for a ride home. Melissa picked her up, but Karlie's paranoia didn't fade. That night, Karlie wandered around the house reading passages from the Bible, confessing fears, and saying she didn't want to die. Melissa stayed with her all night, making sure she was safe. But by morning, everything changed. Around 5:30 a.m., Melissa noticed Karlie wasn't in bed. The front door was unlocked. Karlie had vanished into the desert before sunrise. At 7:30 a.m., a text came through to a friend. "I'm almost there. Just wait, I'm coming." But Karlie never arrived. Multiple witnesses later claimed to have seen her walking along Highway 6, thin and barefoot, carrying only a piece of paper. One neighbor said she looked disoriented, staring down almost as if she was lost in her own world. Another said she kept glancing behind her as though someone might be following. But after that, no one saw her again. Law enforcement combed the area with helicopters, K9s, and ground teams. There was no sign of Karlie, not a shoe print, not a shred of clothing, nothing. The desert swallowed her whole. Her final text, "I'm almost there. I'm coming," has fueled endless theories. Did Karlie overdose on a laced drug, wandering too far into the wilderness? Did someone she trusted lure her out into the night? Or, as some suspect, did she stumble upon something she shouldn't have seen and was silenced? Her family remains divided. Her biological mother, Lindsay, believes Karlie's stepmother hasn't told the full story of that night. Melissa insists she did everything possible to keep Karlie safe. Years later, there are still no answers. No body, no phone activity, no closure. It's only the echo of her final words. "I'm almost there. Just wait, I'm coming." It's been 6 years since anyone saw 16-year-old Karlie Guse, a Bishop High School student living in the small town of Chalfont, California. It's a tight-knit community of just over 250 people nestled between the Sierra National Forest and the Death Valley, a place where everyone knows everyone, or at least they think they do. Karlie lived with her dad and his wife, Melissa, her mom, Lindsay, and her 2 sisters in a sprawling 4-bedroom home at the foot of the Inyo Mountains. From the outside, the family seemed solid. Both parents worked as medical professionals. Her dad was an X-ray technician. Her mom was a nurse. And Karlie, a happy child who loved animals and the outdoors, seemed to fit right in. But behind closed doors, things were different. Karlie had a troubled history of depression and cutting, and both parents had primary custody at different times. Eventually, Karlie went to live with her father and his wife, Melissa, full-time. The couple had their own son and daughter, which made Karlie a big sister and stepmother, 2 little ones. But not everyone thought Melissa was cut out for the role. According to Lindsay, Melissa often acted more like a friend than a disciplinarian. She wasn't a good influence, Lindsay says. She was always encouraging the kids to drink and smoke weed. Still, Lindsay tried her best to maintain a good relationship with her eldest daughter. She bought her expensive clothes and makeup and encouraged her to socialize. But Karlie preferred to spend her time alone, writing poetry, listening to music, and hanging out with her 3 best friends. On Friday, October 12, 2018, Lindsay dropped off a pumpkin spice latte at her daughter's school. She joked about how much she liked Melissa's husband, telling Karlie to take the hint and move in with him permanently. Karlie rolled her eyes, but when she got home, she posted this on Twitter: "I hate my life." The next day was supposed to be fun. Karlie and her friends were going to a party in Lone Pine, a half-hour drive away, but Karlie needed a ride, and no one else could get her there. So Lindsay stepped in and took her. When she dropped her off, Karlie promised to call when the party was over. An hour passed, then another. Lindsay texted her daughter, "You okay? Call me." Karlie responded, "Yeah, I just got here." Then she sent a series of angry tweets. "This is why I hate parties." Then, "I don't want to go inside." But Lindsay knew her daughter well enough to be concerned, so she called Melissa. "Your daughter isn't answering my calls. Can you check on her?" she asked. "She's fine."
Oh.
But 5 minutes later, the screen on Lindsay's phone lit up. It was Karlie. "I need a ride home," she pleaded. "I'll be there in 15 minutes, Lindsay replied, relieved her daughter would be safe. At home soon, she turned the car around and headed back. Meanwhile, Karlie was sitting in the driver's seat of Melissa's car in the driveway. She looked nervous. "I just wanted to tell you, Mom. I tried weed for the first time tonight," she said. Lindsay laughed. "Oh, honey, don't worry, you're 16. Everyone does stupid shit." But when Lindsay arrived home, she noticed something was wrong. Karlie was unusually quiet, pacing and wringing her hands. "What happened? You look scared," she asked. Karlie shook her head. Then she said, "I don't want to die." Lindsay was taken aback. "You don't want to die? Why?" Karlie looked at her feet. "I did a stupid thing tonight. I got really high, and now I can't stop thinking, what if I overdose and I never wake up?" Lindsay felt a chill. She knew her daughter struggled with depression, but she'd never been suicidal. She hugged Karlie close. "You won't overdose, I promise." As the night wore on, Karlie continued to pace. She called her boyfriend Trevor, crying. "Trevor, I messed up," she whispered. "I can't stop shaking. I did so much weed. I think I'm gonna die. What if I'm never gonna wake up? I'm sorry." "I love you," Trevor consoled her, promising to stay on the phone until morning. But hours later, he grew impatient. "Are you gonna talk to me, or just keep hanging up and not saying anything?" he texted. Karlie replied, "Sorry, I keep spacing out." But at 8:30 p.m., Trevor had had enough. He hung up, and an hour later, Karlie called her stepmother, Melissa. "Can you come get me? I'm scared." Melissa arrived within minutes and drove Karlie back to her house, where she stayed with Melissa all night. Lindsay called several times, but Melissa never told her what happened. "I should have known something was wrong when Melissa called me in the middle of the night, saying Karlie was fine and she was staying with them. It was weird because they never called me unless there was an emergency," Lindsay says. The next morning, around 5:30 a.m., Melissa woke up to use the bathroom. Karlie wasn't in bed. She searched the house, but couldn't find her anywhere. She opened the front door. There was no sign of a struggle. Karlie had vanished. Melissa ran outside and screamed for Karlie. She called 911, but it was too late. The desert was vast and unforgiving, and it would take search crews hours to comb the area. Lindsay received a frantic call from Melissa. "She's gone. Karlie's gone," Melissa sobbed. "What do I do?" As dawn broke, Lindsay rushed to the house. It was a nightmare. She had lost Karlie twice. Now she feared losing her for good. For days, hundreds of volunteers joined police and firefighters searching for any trace of Karlie, passing out flyers and combing through the tall grass. But each evening, the crowds grew smaller. By the end of the week, the FBI and the California National Guard had joined the hunt, bringing in cadaver dogs and helicopters equipped with infrared cameras. They followed leads across 6 states, interviewing hundreds of people and checking thousands of social media posts. Meanwhile, rumors spread through the town like wildfire. Some believed Karlie had run away, while others suspected foul play. Had she been kidnapped or worse? Lindsay never doubted her daughter would turn up, even if it meant facing her estranged husband, Ron, again. "I would have moved heaven and earth to find her. I never gave up hope. I knew she was out there somewhere," she says. On October, however, a sheriff announced there were no new leads in the case, and search efforts would be scaled back. 5 months later, the GCYSO hosted a vigil for Karlie, inviting the community to remember her life. But instead of finding comfort, Lindsay found fresh anger. Every lead had gone cold. Every theory had fallen apart, and nobody seemed to know what really happened to her daughter. She wondered if the truth would ever come out. Could she ever get justice for Karlie? The pain of losing her daughter never faded. And every day she searched for answers. I read every single post on Reddit. I watch every YouTube video. I try to see what everybody else sees and misses. I still Google her name every day, hoping I missed something, she says. I just want to know what happened to her. I have to know. It's been 6 years since Karlie Guse was last seen alive. The case remains unsolved, and her body has never been recovered. Investigators believe she's dead, but her family and friends cling to the hope she'll turn up safe and sound. The tight-knit community of Unfound, California is still reeling from the shocking disappearance of 16-year-old Karlie Guse. Despite an extensive search and investigation, the case remains unsolved and theories continue to swirl. The community is left wondering what happened to the bright young woman who loved animals and the outdoors, and how the once close-knit community became fractured by tragedy. While many believe she may have met foul play, others argue she simply wandered too far into the wilderness, and her body will eventually be found. Until then, the mystery of what truly happened to Karlie remains. If you have any information about the disappearance of Karlie Lane Guse, please contact the Mono County Sheriff's Office. Thank you for watching this episode. If you have any information about this case, please contact the Mono County Sheriff's Office. Thank you for watching this episode of the Unfound Echoes. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. Follow us on social media to see more of our content. Till next time.